If Cam is not the starter for the Patriots next year, you know, there are a lot of things to consider, but if he's not, who should the Patriots go after as their starter? Dom, you can start.
Yeah, I think the first guy on that list should be Matthew Stafford. Like, I think he's a guy that might be available for a trade because that team seems to be coming towards the twilight of his career, and that team is not a few players here or there away. They need to trade him away and try to acquire some draft capital to start to rebuild this team. They're likely going to have a new GM and head coach pretty soon, and that group could come in and move on, and Matt Stafford is the best option. But you would have to get a trade, and I don't know. I do know how much the Patriots appreciate and value those draft picks, so we'll see what happens if they're able to trade somebody away or trade some things away to get that. But other than that, I'm not sure that there's anybody I know that there's nobody who's on Matt Stafford's level that I think's going to come up next year. Maybe Matt Ryan. Sam Darnold's obviously several steps below those two guys. Maybe Matt Ryan, but I think Matt Stafford is the best possible option.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Domonique, which is wild considering the morning we've had together. But I think Bill talked about leveraging the future. You know, he's had to, push all those chips in for the Super Bowl. We had, this is the result. This is not a team that can win with a young guy. Bill is 68 years old. Bill can do all things, but he's getting up there. He's running out of time to win Super Bowls. This roster is not built for a young kid, a kid out of the draft, or, some kid to come in and try to win games with this roster. They need a veteran guy. I think Stafford is the perfect option if it works, and Matt Ryan. But again, with veteran QBs who are proven, they cost money, and that's the tricky thing. You see a lot of these teams that try to win with these young quarterbacks because they have those windows that they can work with because the money all works. When you get past that, these veterans, they cost a lot, and you got to give up capital to get them.
Yeah, and Bill had the good fortune of Tom Brady being willing to take less his entire career. You may not get that with the next guy. You had it with Cam Newton, but they're also not, it doesn't feel like they're a quarterback away. So I know that quarterbacks are going to be, especially guys like Matt Stafford, he's going to be looking to win a Super Bowl. So I think he might be willing to take a pay cut. But I'm not sure he's going to look at that roster and feel like that's where he can go and win a Super Bowl. He might look somewhere else. So they're not as attractive as they once were. And I think that it's not that Cam Newton, I thought Cam Newton was the perfect quarterback for this situation last year because Cam Newton has kind of made a career of carrying an offense and having an offense, him be the best rusher, and also not having a ton of great weapons all the time. And I thought that if anybody could fix it, he could. He couldn't turn back the clock to that particular Cam Newton. So as good as Matt Stafford is and as good as he's looked this season, he's had some injury concerns. I'm not sure that – no, I'm not sure. He can't. He's not the guy that can put the team on his back. There are only a few of those guys in the league, and they don't come available often. So the job is not just to find a quarterback. It's going to be also to find the guys to put around that quarterback. And their defense should get better if the COVID opt-outs that happened this year happen to opt in and Bill Belichick can have a full offseason. But that offense is not a quarterback away. As much as we want to be down on Cam Newton, and deservedly so, it seemed like he was laboring every time he tried to throw the ball or run the ball this season. So he deserves the criticism, but it's not all on him. He's not the reason why the offense is broken. There are a lot of holes in that offense.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.